Welcome to the PickleFit Podcast, where we're not just chasing dinks, drops, and drives, we're chasing strength, mobility, and injury-proof bodies that actually hold up past 50. I'm your host, Coach Kevin. I'm a healthy aging expert, certified personal trainer, nutrition coach, and the guy who thinks he's still gonna go pro one of these days. Each week, we'll serve up simple, actionable tips on strength training, mobility, and nutrition, because if you want to dominate the court, it all starts with what you're doing off the court. So grab your paddle, lace up those sneakers, and get ready to move better, play harder, and stay in the game for life. This is PickleFit. Let's roll. All right, folks, I want to talk to you today about the problem, quote unquote problem, with traditional workouts. When I'm saying traditional workouts, I mean traditional strength workouts. So let me ask you something. When's the last time you were in the gym and you saw somebody doing some, let's say, seated bicep curls on a machine and you thought to yourself, yeah, that's really going to make them unstoppable at the net? Yeah, me neither. Here's the deal. Most gym workouts, especially the ones a lot of us over 50 are doing, are based on body part splits or old school bodybuilding routines. So Monday is chest day, Tuesday is back and buys, and Wednesday is maybe some treadmill if we're feeling a little bit spicy. And look, there is nothing wrong with that. So these bodybuilder type routines and programs, nothing wrong with those, but it's not the kind of training that you're going to want to invest in if you want to explode to a short ball, recover from the baseline, or hit that winning drive down the sideline. Because the truth is this, just being strong isn't enough. Now, let me back up. Strength is the foundation of athletic performance, but you've also got to be powerful. You got to be quick, explosive, balanced, resilient. And those aren't things that you're going to build on a pec deck machine in your gym. So let's talk a little bit about power. What is power? Power is simply strength multiplied by speed. So I'll say that again. Power is strength multiplied by speed. It's what allows you to jump, lunge, rotate, and recover all at game speed. And here's the kicker. As we age, we lose power faster than we lose strength. The power goes first. You can be lifting weights, getting stronger, and still be getting slower, more fragile, and more injury prone on the court if you're not training specifically for power. And that's what this episode's all about, because I don't want you to just survive out there on the court. I want you to dominate. I want you to thrive. I want you to have optimal health, optimal athletic ability, and be able to express your body athletically out there on the court. I want you to feel quick on your feet, confident in your movements, and totally in control of your game. So if bodybuilding routines aren't optimal for those of us who are looking to really up our pickleball game, what works? What's the best thing to do? So glad you asked. Let's break this down. And I like to think of this as our Pickleball Power Blueprint. It's a simple 3-part formula to build the kind of strength that actually transfers onto the court. So as we've talked about in past episodes, we are going to start at the foundation, and the foundation is base strength. So this is your foundation. I want you to think of compound lifts, things like squats and lunges and deadlifts and presses and rows. We're not training to look good in a tank top here necessarily, although that's a nice side effect, but we're training to keep your knees strong during quick directional changes. We're training to build your hips and glutes and your entire posterior chain to power your serves and your drives. We're training to strengthen your back so you can maintain good posture during tournaments or long bouts of rec play. I recommend hitting base strength moves 3 times per week and working in that 8 to 12 rep range and using a controlled tempo and proper form. So no ego lifting here, no maxing out. Remember, form first, always. And this is especially true for you out there that maybe aren't already doing some sort of structured strength training workout program. You should be. If you're not, I'm here to tell you, you should be. Because again, that base strength, that is the foundation of athletic movement. Every single professional athlete in the world, whether it's badminton, basketball, baseball, they all have strength and conditioning coaches. Because coaches know, teams know that having an athlete who has a base of strength, then we can teach them the quickness, the power, the explosiveness, the skills, but they got to have that base strength underneath really to help them not just to be powerful in their sport, but also to be injury proof, right? All right, so we've got this Pickleball Power Blueprint. Part 1 is base strength. Part 2 is what you're probably thinking. This is where we get into the athletic movement. This is our power and explosiveness phase. So once you've got some base strength, it's time to move fast. But let me be clear here. I think a lot of people, when they think of, hey, I want to start a strength training program or a workout program specifically to get better in pickleball, they might think, hey, why wouldn't I just go to doing this more power and explosive type movements? But if you don't have that base of strength, you're at risk of getting injured. So I do want to put this caveat that you should have a base layer of strength before we start adding in power and explosive type movements. So that being said, we got that out of the way. Once you've got some base strength, it's time to move fast. And this is where we introduce exercises like medicine ball throws and medicine ball slams. These are fantastic to train total body power, rotational speed, things like that. Kettlebell swings, really good for developing that explosive hip drive. I love squat jumps, box jumps, or even quick box step ups, and we can modify those if needed. But again, you should have the strength and the power to be able to do jump squats, to do jumping lunges, things of that nature, those really explosive lower body athletic type movements, and even upper body things like push presses, landmine push presses, or maybe even explosive push-ups. And of course, we could modify that to do from our knees, or we could do that with our hands elevated a little bit if we needed to. But just the idea of us moving, again, we're expressing strength and we're expressing it through speed. So we don't need a ton of weight for these movements. In fact, it should be a lot less weight than we would do in, say, a traditional strength training environment, but you do need the intent to move fast. The body's going to adapt to how it's trained. So if all you do is train slow, guess what? You're going to play slow. And then the third part of our Pickleball Power Blueprint here is going to be rotational strength and anti-rotation type movements. Look, pickleball is a rotational sport. Every drive, every drop, every dink involves twisting through your torso. And that's why we're going to train movements like a pal-off press. So this is going to help you resist rotation and build core stability. Russian twists and cable chops, fantastic for building rotational power. All of your split stance lifts, so your lunges, whether that's a cassock lunge, so a lunge to the side, or forward lunge, backward lunge, are all going to mimic core movements and are going to improve balance. Now, look, don't worry if you don't know what a pal-off press is, or a Russian twist is, or cable chops, etc. I will throw a link to a separate YouTube channel down below that has a library of all of our exercise movements in there. You can look any of these up that you don't know what they are, or you can just Google them. But this part, this rotational strength and anti-rotational strength, is huge for developing paddle speed and shot control, especially if you notice this happening as you get later into, say, your second, third hour of rec play, or maybe you're traveling to a tournament and and you get into those later rounds. If you're starting to notice that you're starting to lack a little bit here, that having that rotational strength, that anti-rotational power, really going to up your game quite a bit. If you're serious about fueling your body for better performance on the pickleball court, you're going to love this. I put together a free guide. It's called Eat Smart, Play Strong, Nutrition Basics for Pickleball Athletes. In this guide, I break down everything you need to know about what to eat, how much protein you really need, and how to build healthy eating habits that will keep you strong, mobile, and injury-free. So whether you're looking to build muscle, lose fat, or just feel more energized during your game, this guide is for you. I'll put a link to the guide in the show notes for this episode, or you can email me at coach@mypicklefit.com. That's coach@mypicklefit.com. Don't miss out on these simple, effective nutrition tips that will help you level up your pickleball game. All right, so let's put this all together. Let's make a practical plan for your pickleball power plan, we'll call it. Here's how you would build your week. First things first, we're going to start with base strength. If you're not currently doing some sort of age-appropriate, professionally designed, functional strength training program, start there. Get, let's say, 12 weeks of that under your body. Continue with your pickleball play, but just get the strength under your belt first. Once you've got that, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 2 to 3 sessions of strength training, full body, each week. So we're going to continue with those squats and deadlifts and lunges and pushes and presses in that 8 to 12 rep range. So we're still building strength. We're always building strength. So we're going to start with that. And then we're going to start adding the power elements. And I love seeing this come in. You could do a block of power elements. Once your form is solid and your joints are happy and you're feeling strong and powerful, you could just do a 4, 8, maybe even 12-week block of just power movements. But I'd really like to see you with a couple of strength training days and maybe a couple of dynamic power movement days. We can mix and match these in a lot of different ways. But the idea here is we're starting to add these power elements, these explosive movements, these athletic movements into our structured workout programming. All right. And of course, we're over 50. We are always going to warm up. We're going to wake up the spine, the core, the limbs. We're going to warm up with a little bit of dynamic movement before we do any strength or power work. And the other thing I want you guys to keep in mind is rest days are not lazy days. That's when your gains actually happen. That's when we actually reap the benefits of that hard work in the gym. And remember, your workout doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be purposeful. Think of it like this. We are training movements, not muscles. That's how you build a body that performs. That's how you build a body that responds like an athlete. So think of that when you're in the gym. After you've built that base of strength and we're starting to add some of these power movements in, think I'm training movements. I'm training explosive, fast movements. Not necessarily I'm training legs. I'm training glutes. I'm training pecs or back or biceps or triceps like that, right? We're training movements. All right, so here is your PickleFit challenge for this week. I want you to audit your current workout. A, do you have one? If not, let's get busy, guys. And B, is it helping you move faster, hit harder, and stay in the game longer? Because it should. So just take a look. No judgment here, but just take a look at your current workout program. And I want you to add at least 1 or 2 power-focused movements to your next strength training session. Now, if you're brand new to strength training, maybe we hold off on this for a little bit, but those of you that are already doing some kind of strength training, try mixing in some med ball throws or some kettlebell swings if you're new to this, and let's just start getting used to moving quickly, moving explosively, moving like an athlete. And speaking of athlete, commit to training like an athlete. Not so much like a bodybuilder, right? As pickleball enthusiasts, we are athletes. We're athletes of aging, and this is serious stuff. So we want to train like that because let's face it, most of us over 50, we're not chasing six packs. We're chasing smash wins when the score is 10-9 and it's on the line, right? All right, folks, that's a wrap for today's episode of the PickleFit Podcast. If you've enjoyed this show, do me a favor, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this with your pickleball crew. Let's help more players over 50 stay strong, mobile, and off the injured list. Got a question, topic idea, or just want to say hey? Shoot me a message. I'd love to hear from you. You can email me anytime at coach@mypicklefit.com. Until next time, stay strong, stay mobile, and whatever you do, don't skip leg day. This is Coach Kevin signing off. I'll see you on the court.